Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. Ordinarily, I tell you that this is where right and left come to be reasonable. But you know what? That mandate is not enough anymore. The mandate really is to stop looking left and right and see what is right in front of our damn faces. Over the weekend, 5 million Americans protested, the largest single day of demonstrations in U.S. history. And we know why. On one level, it was a reaction to the Army's birthday / Trump's birthday bash. They called it the No Kings protest. And let me tell you what I call it. A high watermark for disunity. And I'm not saying I'm against the protest. It's a signature American blessing of our democracy. And I get the arguments against MAGA, against the president. I get the arguments on both sides. This battle of which is more toxic, however, is making us all sick. We have to see this battle to the bottom of which side is worse for what it is. It is killing this country. This is not hyperbole. This is not a hot take. We're killing ourselves. I've been doing this for a quarter century, and I have never seen us so vulnerable as we are right now. We have sunk to new levels of division, fueled very simply by partisan extremism. Left and right will say and do anything to gain advantage over the other side. We have normalized all the worst things: lies, misinformation, disinformation. Podcasters feign outrage for profit. Everything is exaggerated for effect all the time. It's now okay to say every election you lose is rigged. Every idea you don't like is radical or anti-American. You don't like the president? He's Hitler. You don't like ICE? They're Nazis. And more party people justify the need for any means necessary because the need for advantage is so dire. It matters now more than ever. It's never been this dangerous. And we don't get what we're doing to ourselves, but that's why we are where we are. We have created an atmosphere that is perfect for the worst of the fringe elements in our society to step up. And they have. Fundamentalists, disaffected, disenfranchised, sometimes detached from reality. And that's why we keep seeing people kill to advance their political agendas. This is where the party battle has taken us. And you can say our favorite words in partisan politics, yeah, but, because nobody wants to own their own shit. Nobody. Look, I own how seductive playing this game can be. I am trying very hard to expose it for you. And it is not easy, and it is not profitable. Not picking a side when that's all that matters is just an express route to ratings crises. And I don't care because I know what's happening is wrong. You want to see the evidence that pushed me to write what I wrote for right now? This picture. You see the look on this guy's face? This assassin? Does it seem familiar? Calm, the assuredness. Looks a lot like the embassy shooter, doesn't he? Elias Rodriguez. Remember the look on his face? How passive he was as he just sat there waiting? Or Luigi Mangione, assassinated a healthcare CEO. That calm, where they just kind of shouted out their manifesto, but they saw it coming and they were okay with it. Why? They believe they're doing the right thing. And I believe that these people find encouragement in what they see happening around them with our party politics. How else do you explain why in just the last 3 months, a man firebombed Governor Shapiro's home in Pennsylvania. Another man firebombed the GOP headquarters and a Tesla dealership in New Mexico. A man blew himself up at a fertility clinic in California. Another man lit old Jewish protesters on fire in Boulder, Colorado. Why do you think? Now we have the latest fundamentalist, this guy Belter. I used to not say the names of these people. But now not only does everybody say their names, but they're not even extraordinary. They're not even unusual. And as perverse as his actions, the reaction to him was just as perverse. What happened when we found out about this? Both parties and the media cared about one frickin' thing, and what was it? Which side did he belong to? Because all that matters is advantage, to use him as proof of what the other side is about. So at first, it was the right, loud and proud, talking about how he was appointed by a Democrat in Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz, and this is the left, and we have to care, and Trump cared, and everybody cared. My feed was littered with people on the right saying, look at the left. A U.S. senator actually claimed that this man was a Marxist, a nice extreme buzzword, proof of the poison in our politics. But then what happened? All their concern, all the commentary, all the clickbait just evaporated in an instant when the assassin's roommate hit our screens.
Everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat. Because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community.
Did he talk much about Trump? And what did he say, if so?
I was a Trump supporter. Voted for Trump. Do you like Trump? I like Trump.
And did he listen to any particular podcasts or TV shows or anything online that concerns you?
Well, you listen to InfoWars.
Look, here's the truth. If you thought I was about to say, "Nya, nya, nya," to the right, this is on you, you're wrong. There is no win in this. We are all obviously losing as a country. The reason we are seeing acts of violence from emboldened extremists is because we have embraced extremism as our political culture. And instead of seeing what they all know is happening, we just continue to dig. That Utah Senator, Mike Lee, he knows he's wrong, and he just keeps going. Why? That's the game. Elon Musk, back to his old ways of getting stuff wrong, writes some stupid post about the left, trying to get back in Trump's good graces after he got kicked to the curb. That belter's far left, and the left is a full-blown domestic terror organization. Nice and extreme. Clickbait, baby. Great. And then Lee retweets it. Fact. True. They're both wrong, and they're both part of the problem. Just be extreme. Just drive the outrage. And this is where it has gotten us. And the irony is, you know where the best opportunity is in politics right now? There is no margin in taking down the other side. It's done. There's nothing you can do to move the needle. The division is complete. Here's how you connect with the majority. Be anti-extremist. Don't feed it, fight it. That's what the majority wants. That's what the country needs. That's the opportunity. And you know what? Even the president, despite his past and how he has added to the fire, he could take that opportunity. But instead, he's decided to depend on what got us here, into this mess, playing with his signature wedge issue to get away from Belter, the assassin, back to immigration. Look, that's the only explanation that makes sense. Why would he go from his most recent revelation, the reasonableness of his position on immigration that changed? Not all illegal entrants are the same. Farmers and hotel people told him there are a lot of good people doing good for the community, even though they entered the wrong way. And he goes from that back down the road of extreme rhetoric about how the left is trying the great replacement of white people by letting in every illegal immigrant they can. Back to the extreme negativity. Why? Because that's his safe place. But that's what got us here. So Trump basically declared war on cities, saying ICE would focus there. And look, again, I've said it on this show. I'll say it many times. I have no problem saying it. This country voted to have immigration laws enforced, but they did not vote for what we're seeing right now. They did not vote for a deportation of every single person that you can find, no matter where they are, what school, what hospital, what community, no matter what they do, how they're loved, who they have here, what they mean to communities. That's not what they voted for. So I get that he's making a clear play to his base, but it's a distraction. It's a distraction from what's happening with the regime in Iran, with Israel. It's a distraction from Belter. And it is what is taking us into a danger zone. And I call it the game because both sides play it. Democrats openly play to socialism now. They're trying to drum up their own populist outrage to match MAGA. They support candidates who don't believe Israel has a right to exist. This is more demonic than democratic. It is proof of extremism corroding our culture. Okay? Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.